afternoon. It's fast approaching 27 minutes after 5 o'clock. This is GB News on TV, online and on digital radio. Don't forget as well, you can stream us live on YouTube. I'm Nana Akua, and it's time for our great British debate this hour. I'm asking, could Labour's trans stance be its undoing? Now, according to reports, senior figures within the Labour Party have called upon Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer to clarify the party's stance on transgender issues in order to increase their chances of getting the keys to number 10. Now, in previous interviews, Sir Keir Starmer has been unable to define the word woman.
A woman can have a penis.
Nick, I'm not. I don't think we can conduct this debate with, you know.
Sorry,
I
have I offended you in some?
No. It's just. I just.
Yeah, does a woman have a penis or not? Honestly, it was unbelievable. That was ridiculous. He couldn't answer it, but that hasn't been the only time Sir Keir Starmer has struggled.
Is it transphobic to say only women have a cervix?
Well, it is something that shouldn't be said.
What? What's he talking about at the party? He's said to be wanting to align their policies with public opinion, and this all comes after the SNP, well, you saw the mess that went, the mass exodus as well, the membership over the course of the last few months, in fact, which literally started in October when Nicola Sturgeon decided to push forward her gender recognition reform bill. And some are arguing now, because with regard to her bill, that a lot of people have actually left the party because of it, and it was all to do with transgender rights and self-identification. So if Labour aren't careful, could they be heading in the same direction? So for the great British debate this hour, I'm asking, could Labour's trans stance be its undoing? I'm joined now by Reem, Ibraham, Communications Officer at the Institute of Economic Affairs. Is it just you, Reem? Is it just me and you? I'm also joined by Sam Dowler, political commentator. And is there anybody else? Is it just us? Well, Reem, I'm going to start with you. There we go, because nobody's telling me anything. Reem, okay, so I'm sorry, but as much as I'm liking some of the policies that may be coming from the Labour Party, I can't get over the block that Keir Starmer couldn't define a woman.
Absolutely, and I think that this position is going to be unsustainable looking towards the next election. I think the culture war is going to be a huge policy area here. I mean, I think that we saw that this sort of caused the complete downfall of Nicola Sturgeon, and I think what that really shows is that when politicians don't tell people the truth and actually, completely are led by ideology rather than fact, that actually means that people will get angry and people will see that this is happening. I mean, it's absolutely awful. The fact that this, what happened in Scotland, this man who has been a serial rapist was allowed to enter this woman's space and, of course could have hurt those vulnerable women themselves as well. And I think that with Keir Starmer, if he does change his position now, I mean, we already know what he thinks. If he changes his position now, we know it will be insincere.
Well, he aligned himself with the SNP, so of course it was the Conservatives who said that was so ridiculous, a woman doesn't have a penis. And Rishi Sunak did not hesitate to answer that question, and for that I give him 10 out of 10. But what worries me is that people are saying, oh, it's inevitably a Labour win, but it sounds like they're prepared to allow this to go unanswered. So I'm going to bring in Sam Dowler. Sam, what is your view on this? Because, he couldn't really answer the question, and I want to ask you, Sam, does a woman have a penis?
Well, a trans woman could have a penis, and a trans man could have a cervix.
No. I asked you, does a woman have a penis? A woman. I'm a woman. Reem's a woman. Does a woman have a penis?
Well, I mean, technically, biologically, no. But if a trans
well, it's not technically biologically. It's either they do or they don't. You're sounding like Keir Starmer. See, this is a problem.
But if a trans woman has a penis, then that's still a woman, in my view. But I think the point is here, Nana, is that this affects such a tiny percentage of the country. I really don't think that this is something for them to run their campaign on, and it's quite low hanging fruit for the Tories. So if they hammered this home and like you say, banged on about, use that clip about Keir Starmer. I mean, these aren't issues that really affect the population. They care about the cost of living crisis. They care about the strikes. They care about the NHS. They care about so many other things before they care about trans rights and trans women and trans men do not want to be dragged into this political football. They just want to live their lives. So I don't see how it should be any part of of the election process at all, really.
Can I just ask, you said it affects a very small proportion of the electorate, but half of the electorate are women, and that affects us, so that's 50%. That's still a...
How many times have you come up against a trans woman in the toilets, or even met a trans woman, Nana?
I've met plenty of trans women, but I wouldn't want to be in changing rooms with a trans woman because they're effectively a man, in my view. Reem.
I mean, look...
Reem.
I think that what's clear about the situation is that when we've got a man sitting here trying to tell us what a woman is, I think that's quite offensive in itself. But look, I think that what you're right about, Sam, is that the majority of trans people that are, very, very sound individuals that genuinely do not want to be dragged into this. However, this is a policy that affects, like Nana said, 50% of the population, all women at all. So whilst trans people do represent a very, very tiny proportion of the population, the majority of whom do not want to be dragged in and be a political football in this situation. What is clear, however, is that there are pet predators. There are people that will take advantage of the fact that they can just say, I'm a woman, and enter a woman's space, and that is
they're predatory men. They're predatory men, not trans women. It's predatory men that people need to be afraid of, not like incels, for example.
And they can take advantage of those laws, and they can take advantage, predatory men can take advantage of the laws that are there, that are supposed to be there to help trans women, or any individual that...
Exactly, but at the same time, the 2010 Equalities Act has not changed in the last 13 years, and there has been no problems. Like people, they haven't you haven't found yourself.
Can I just say, you say there's not been any problems, but there are, and actually the fact that it feels for a lot of women that the word woman is slightly being airbrushed now. Even mother is beginning to disintegrate. So what I'm asking you is that, do you think, Sam, that this, although you think it's a minute situation, if you saw what happened to the SNP, do you think that this could end up being a similar issue for the Labour Party?
I just think it's something that's, again, been blown out of all proportion.
The question is, could it be a similar issue because of what happened with the SNP? Because you might say that was... You don't think so?
No, I don't think it would be an issue for them at all. I think by the time it comes round to the proper election, when people are actually campaigning, etc., I think they will have all their ducks in a row. They will know exactly what they are going to say, and I think and it would not behoove the Tories to bang on about it, because again it would look like they were using trans people as a political football, like we just said.
Very briefly, Reem, you have about 10 seconds to finish this off. Your view, briefly. Do you think this could be a problem for the Labour?
I do think it could be, and I think that we're seeing, unfortunately, I quite dislike engaging in the culture war. I think a lot of it is quite silly, but actually I think that what we're going to see is in the next election, the culture war is going to be a huge political issue. I don't want a Prime Minister that can't define a woman.
Thank you very much. Reem Ibraham, Communications Officer at the Institute of Economic Affairs, and Sam Dowler, political commentator. Thank you so much. Well, what are your thoughts?